In college, it can be super easy to forget stuff. Unless you have a rare condition known as hyperthymesia, also known as total recall memory, chances are you cannot remember every day of your life with all of its details and nuances in vivid detail. This is especially true for college life, juggling work and school life, online learning, or just about any other endeavor you pursue. Dr. Melman's pop quiz on European art history isn't the only thing you need to rummage through your memory banks to recall. Your boyfriend or girlfriend's favorite color, what you did last summer, and how many coats of paint it will take to repaint your favorite room are all things you need to remember. And don't even get me started on work projects, house projects, or cooking skills to impress Faye's parents. All of this can require some aspect of your memory. But let's get back to the college textbooks since we haven't decided if the Swatch for Eggshell Surprise would go better with the Teriyaki Winter or the Evergreen Forest. Okay, I'm having way too much fun with paint right now. There are several different yet insanely effective hacks you can use to boost your memory skills, and in this video we're going to tackle 4 of them in life-saving detail. Try them out and see which one works best for you the next time that you study. Ready? Let's go. Here are 4 ways to improve your memory. Use the SAVE method. I'm calling the 4 principles of memory in this video the SAVE method. You can use each of them when you are trying to learn something new. They can help you boost your memory efforts. When I think of SAVE, I think of a lifeline, like a rescue or maybe even one of those circular flotation devices you may see on a boat or with a lifeguard. You can break down the SAVE method like this. Number 1, selectivity. Selectivity is when you select bits of information out of an ocean of information. Think of a textbook with chapters. The professor assigns chapters 2 through 4 for homework and then says there will be a quiz on the material. But they don't mean a quiz on every single word in those chapters. Selectivity is the process of picking out main ideas or what you've identified as important details. Bold terms, italicized phrases, key dates, and events that occurred or the people associated with those events. These are all examples of selectivity in action. This memory booster requires sifting through chunks of data or words and information, and then pinpointing with your mind which parts to remember. Supporting details, concepts, important ideas or details, these are all examples of things to remember for your academics. Selectivity can look like deciding what to write in your notes, highlighting specific information in your textbook, avoiding unimportant or unessential information, avoiding cluttering your working memory banks. Note here, when you choose to intentionally use selectivity to boost your memory, you train your brain to pick out important information quickly and more efficiently to find the main ideas and supporting information of any topic that you choose. Number 2 in the SAVE method, association. This memory booster requires you to link pictures or sounds together in an effort to process more than one item or block of information, kind of like mind mapping with sounds or mental imagery. Let's try this example. The goal is to match the next 3 jingles with their respective companies. Like a good neighbor, da 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 da. Or this one, we are farmers. I do not have a deep voice for that one. Or this one, every kiss begins with, hint, it is not Jared. Hopefully, you've heard at least one of these jingles before, and just the start of them again quickly brought back to your memory the company associated with the jingle. Keep in mind, catchy jingles are just one way to do this. Other associations you can form can include phrases, familiar objects, personal experiences, mnemonics, familiar situations, numbers, pictures, and even your own mental meme or gifs about the topic. For example, if someone says, Colonel Bayfish sailed around the Cape in 1887. No, he didn't, so please don't add this to your next quiz. The pronunciation of colonel in the English sounds a lot like kernel, and kernels remind me of corn. Bayfish reminds me of how I once dated a bay that didn't like fish. The Cape reminds me of South Africa, and 1887 reminds me of the jerseys of 2 of my favorite athletes. Popcorn has kernels, and I'm getting hungry right now, so I can make up my own association to Colonel Bayfish sailed around the Cape in 1887. Again, not true, so please don't blame this creative example for the grade on your next quiz. But how? How do I make up an association for Colonel Bayfish sailed around the Cape in 1887? What about the time my ex-bae, who doesn't like fish, ate around the popcorn kernels while I watched athletes number 18 and number 87 walk bases during a baseball game? My brain then associates kernels with colonel, the bae who doesn't like fish with bayfish, the movement of sailing around with bae eating around the kernels, and athletes walking bases in baseball, as well as specific jersey numbers to reinforce this faux fun fact that I now kind of wish was true. Not the ex-bae part though. No one needs extra ex-baes. Now note, you can do the same thing with real-life scenarios, phrases you are familiar with, colors, smells, and even with sounds and jingles. The idea is to form mind triggers or mental connectivity to help associate certain things you want to remember with things that you are already familiar with. Now, association can help you connect new information with previously learned information, link sounds, pictures, or even words together to strengthen ideas, create triggers or cues that are retrievable and easy to remember, create mental duos where the recall of one object automatically brings the recall of the other object back to the forefront of your memory. It can help create easy-to-remember mnemonics or chains of association, like the Colonel Bayfish example, and it can help hold new information longer and encode it in ways unique to you. Associations are part of the cognitive process, and, interestingly enough, a person's long-term memory often does really well with the individualized use of associations. We're on V in the SAFE method right now, visualization. This is where I remember exactly how an ex-bae ate popcorn at the baseball game and how it relates to Colonel Bayfish. Just kidding, sort of. Visualization is a memory technique that involves moving pictures, aka making movies, in your mind to reinforce what you are trying to remember. Since I'm not actually stuck on an ex-bae, to avoid confusion, I'll flip the faux yet fun example of Colonel Bayfish now to something different from here on out. Visualization involves visual encoding, which basically means you need to be able to see the pictures in your mind without looking at the information. That favorite scene in your favorite movie? Yeah, cue that kind of visualization down to the HD details. This method can be great for diagram memorization as well. Side note, while it may sound super complicated, practicing visualization is fairly simple. When you are trying to recall something, close your eyes and practice seeing that thing on the inside of your still closed eyelids. Examples can include a combination to a gym locker, how to make a certain entree in a restaurant, what you do to clean a room or wipe off a sink, how to solve that complex math problem, how to diagram a complicated sentence, or how to find Orion's belt in the night sky. Visualization can help you process and store information visually, increase your visual memory skills, create cues that will help with long-term memory, verify information and then record it in your mind like a moving picture, verbalize and recite more accurate details, create movies in your mind as you read to increase reading comprehension, link sounds, pictures, or even words together to strengthen ideas, create triggers or cues that are retrievable and easy to remember, create mental duos where the recall of one object automatically brings the recall of the other object back to the forefront of your memory, create easy-to-remember mnemonics or chains of association, like the Colonel Bayfish example, and can help hold new information longer and encode it in ways unique to you. This is also great for fiction book readers who love to visualize characters and their settings, unfolding details, and any action that takes place. Many study strategies use visualization to help boost overall recall, but you can use this for areas of personal growth. Imagine achieving those goals that you are working toward, seeing yourself accomplishing them, and enjoying the benefits. That's visualization in action. Now, E in the SAFE method is elaboration. Elaboration is the last technique we will cover in this video, but it is certainly not the least. Also known as elaborative rehearsal, this involves thinking about and reflecting on information in new ways. This one can be more challenging to use at first when compared to the first three in the SAFE method because it pushes beyond the swimming limits of rote memory. Rote memory, pronounced like rote memory, is the process of learning information exactly as you see it after intentional repetition. Your best friend's address or your favorite coffee order is an example of rote memory. Elaboration, however, involves digging deeper. No, not that kind of digging. that kind of digging. Elaboration can help you recognize how to apply information in new and effective ways, reinforce the how and the why specific steps or processes are used, identify cause and effect, comparisons and contrasts, or logically organize chunks of information for long-term memory. Side note, when you see the information in another form than the exact one you memorized, elaboration can help you from getting lost, stuck, or confused. Here are some helpful questions you can use to kickstart your elaboration efforts. Number 1, why is this important? Number 2, how can I use this? Number 3, can this apply to other situations, and if so, how? Elaboration is like taking information that was once presented at face value and kicking it up a notch. Ever wonder how a genius like Albert Einstein used to think? While elaboration may only scratch the surface, it's a really good place to start. And that wraps up the last bit of what I like to nickname the SAVE method. I totally recommend trying out each of the following memory boosters: selectivity, association, visualization, and elaboration, SAVE, to find out which one works best for you. With these totally doable and incredibly effective ways to boost your memory, you are sure to handle your next study session like a pro and get the best grade possible. And you can take this SAVE method anywhere else you need saving. I tried to make a joke, it didn't work.